She sees this, and if you learn to watch her eyes, you will understand that a woman often reads your presence before she ever listens to your words. Most men think attraction begins when they start talking. They think the right sentence, the right joke, the right compliment, or the right opening line is what creates interest. But a woman has often formed her first feeling about you before your mouth opens, not because she is judging you harshly, because people read energy quickly, and women who are emotionally aware often notice the silent details men ignore: your walk, your eyes, your posture, your calm, your clothes, your hands, your face when nobody is entertaining you, the way you enter a room, the way you treat people who cannot give you anything, the way your body carries your life. That is the part most men miss. A mature man is not only heard, he is felt. And the first silent thing women notice is your posture, because posture tells a story your words cannot hide. A man can say he is confident, but if his shoulders are collapsed, his chest is closed, his head is down, and his body looks like it is apologizing for taking space, a woman reads hesitation before she hears confidence. Posture is not about looking aggressive. It is not about puffing your chest or pretending to be someone powerful. Real posture is quiet. It says, I am comfortable being here. A woman notices whether you stand like a man who respects himself or like a man waiting for permission to exist. That difference is silent, but it speaks loudly. A mature man does not need to dominate the room. He simply does not shrink from it. Hard truth. If your body looks unsure, your words have to work twice as hard. This is why older men have an advantage when they carry themselves well. Age can add weight to a man's presence. It can give him depth, patience, and a certain stillness. But age alone does not create presence. A man must carry his years with dignity, not defeat. There are men who walk into a room and immediately start scanning for approval. They look around too much. They check who noticed them. They adjust themselves nervously. Their body says, please tell me I still matter. And then there are men who walk in calmly, take their place, and let the room adjust to them without force. That is the difference women feel. The second silent thing women notice is your eyes, but not in the way most men think. A woman does not only notice whether you look at her, she notices how you look. Are your eyes restless? Are they needy? Are they too hungry? Are they trying to take something? Or are they calm, present, and respectful? Many men fail here because they confuse eye contact with staring. They think holding the gaze longer makes them powerful. But if your eye contact carries pressure, it does not feel confident. It feels unsafe. A mature man's eyes do not chase. They meet, they acknowledge, they release. That release is important. A man who cannot look away calmly reveals that he is trapped by the moment. A man who can meet her eyes, stay relaxed, then return to his own world, shows emotional control. He is not begging the signal to continue. He is not panicking because attention appeared. He is simply present. Watch her eyes, yes, but watch what happens after. If she looks away, and returns with softness, curiosity may be there. If she holds your gaze but her body stays closed, do not force meaning into it. If she smiles with her eyes, then returns again later, there may be comfort. But if her face tightens, if she turns away, if the energy closes, a mature man respects that immediately. The strongest men are not the ones who assume every look is desire. The strongest men are the ones who can read boundaries without feeling insulted. The third silent thing women notice is how you handle stillness. This is powerful. Most men become uncomfortable in silence. They rush to fill every gap. They explain too much. They laugh too quickly. They speak before the moment asks for words. They try to prove that they are interesting, but they only reveal that they are uneasy. A mature man does not fear silence. He understands that silence can create more presence than talking. Not cold silence, not rude silence, calm silence, the kind that says, I am not afraid of space. Women notice this because emotional safety often begins with a man who is not desperate to control the atmosphere. If a woman looks at you and you immediately become restless, she learns something. If there is a quiet moment and you rush to perform, she learns something. But if you remain easy, warm, grounded, and unshaken, she learns something deeper. She learns you are not controlled by nervous energy, and that is rare. A man who cannot sit inside silence often cannot sit inside emotion either. He will rush, fix, explain, defend, react, chase, or withdraw. A woman may sense this quickly. She may not put it into words, but she feels the difference between a man who is calm and a man who is only pretending. Here is a simple example. You are in a small conversation. She says something, then there is a brief pause. The reactive man panics. He adds too much. He starts talking about his achievements, his past, his money, his opinions, his experiences. He tries to rescue the moment. But the mature man allows the pause. He smiles slightly. He listens. He lets the conversation breathe. That pause tells her he is not afraid of himself. The fourth silent thing women notice is your grooming and presentation. Not perfection, not expensive fashion, not trying to look 20 years younger. Presentation means you respect the details of your life, your hair, your beard, your skin, your shoes, your scent, your clothes fitting properly, your watch, your collar, your hands, your overall cleanliness. Women often notice whether a man takes care of himself without looking like he is trying too hard. That balance matters. A mature man should not look careless. Carelessness sends a message. It can say, "I stopped paying attention." It can say, "I expect life to accept me without effort." But trying too hard sends another message. It can say, "I am desperate to be seen." The middle path is powerful, clean, simple, well-fitted, masculine, calm. You do not need loud colors, flashy logos, or young trends to be noticed. In fact, many mature men look stronger when they become simpler. A clean shirt, good shoes, a calm scent, well-kept hair, a body that looks cared for, not abused, a face that looks alive, not bitter. Because presentation is not vanity when it is rooted in self-respect. A woman may not know the brand of your shirt, but she can feel whether you dressed with intention. She can see whether you pay attention to yourself. And if you do not pay attention to yourself, she may quietly wonder what else you have stopped paying attention to. That may sound sharp, but it is useful. The fifth silent thing women notice is how you treat the space around you and the people in it. This is one of the strongest signals, and most men overlook it. A woman may notice how you speak to a waiter, a cashier, a driver, a worker, a stranger, a child, an older person, or someone who cannot benefit you. She notices whether your respect depends on status. A man who is kind only to attractive women is not kind. He is performing. A mature man's character leaks out in small moments. Does he interrupt people? Does he act impatient? Does he throw his frustration at someone who cannot fight back? Does he need to prove he is important by making others feel small? Or does he move with quiet dignity? Women notice this because it reveals emotional maturity. A man who is rude to others may later become rude to her when he is frustrated. A man who is calm with others may feel safer when life becomes inconvenient. This is why manners still matter. Not old-fashioned manners as a performance. Real manners as self-control. A man who can be strong without being cruel is rare, and mature women especially notice that. The sixth silent thing women notice is your emotional temperature. This means the feeling you bring into the room. Some men bring pressure. Some bring bitterness. Some bring hunger. Some bring anxiety. Some bring calm. You may not say one word, but your emotional temperature can be felt. If you are angry at life, it shows in your face. If you are desperate for validation, it shows in your eyes. If you feel cheated by time, it shows in your voice before you speak. If you are at peace with yourself, that also shows. A woman may notice whether you carry old wounds like weapons. This matters for older men, because by 35, 45, 55, or 65, every man has history. He has wins, he has losses, he has regrets, he has memories. He may have been rejected, betrayed, ignored, disappointed, or misunderstood. But the question is not whether life hurt him. The question is whether he became wiser or bitter. Bitterness has a smell, not physical, emotional. It comes out when a man talks about women as if they are all the same. It comes out when he complains too quickly. It comes out when he tries to punish a new woman for what someone else did. It comes out when his humor has hidden resentment inside it. A mature man does not pretend he has never been hurt, but he does not let old pain become his personality. That is quiet power. Because a woman may be drawn to strength, but she is rarely drawn to unresolved bitterness. Strength feels protective. Bitterness feels heavy. Strength says, I learned. Bitterness says, I am still trapped there. Ask yourself honestly, what emotional temperature do you carry into a room? Do people feel calmer around you or more tense? Do women feel observed respectfully or judged? Do your eyes carry curiosity or suspicion? Do you make the space feel heavier or steadier? These questions matter because before you speak, your nervous system is already speaking. The seventh silent thing women notice is whether your attention is controlled. This may be the most important one. A mature man's attention is valuable because he does not throw it everywhere. He is not looking at every woman in the room. He is not constantly checking his phone. He is not distracted by every small movement. He is not acting like a man starving for stimulation. His attention has weight, and women notice where a man places his attention. If you are looking around too much, you can seem restless. If you are constantly checking for reactions, you can seem insecure. If you give intense attention too early, you can seem needy. But if your attention is calm, selective, and grounded, it feels different. A woman may notice that you are not easily pulled. This creates curiosity, not because you are playing games, but because you are not emotionally scattered. You are present with what you choose to be present with. You listen when someone speaks. You do not interrupt. You do not scan the room like you are shopping for validation. You do not abandon yourself every time a beautiful woman enters. That is discipline. And discipline is attractive because it suggests inner leadership. A man who cannot control his attention often cannot control his reactions, and a man who cannot control his reactions will eventually create emotional chaos. This is why calm attention matters. When you give attention, give it cleanly. When you withdraw attention, do it respectfully. Do not use silence to punish. Do not use attention to manipulate. Use attention like a mature man uses his words, with intention. Now here is your action step. For the next 7 days, before you try to improve what you say to women, improve what you silently communicate. Walk slower, stand taller, keep your eyes calm, groom with intention, treat every person with respect, stop rushing to fill silence, keep your phone away when you are speaking to someone, and ask yourself before entering any room, what energy am I bringing in? That one question can change how people experience you. Because most men are obsessed with what to say. Mature men refine what they silently signal. The truth is, women do not notice only one thing. They notice patterns. Your posture connects to your confidence. Your eyes connect to your emotional control. Your grooming connects to your self-respect. Your silence connects to your inner calm. Your treatment of others connects to your character. Your emotional temperature connects to your past. Your attention connects to your discipline. One detail can be misunderstood, but a pattern is harder to hide, and this is why pretending does not work for long. You can pretend confidence for a few minutes. You can pretend calm for one conversation. You can pretend to be respectful when someone is watching, but eventually, your pattern reveals you. This is not something to fear. This is something to use, because if your silent signals are weak, you can improve them. If your posture is closed, you can open it. If your eyes are restless, you can steady them. If your grooming is careless, you can refine it. If your silence feels anxious, you can practice it. If bitterness has entered your tone, you can heal it. If your attention is scattered, you can train it. A mature man is not finished. He is refined. That is the beauty of age when used correctly. You no longer need to pretend to be the loudest, fastest, flashiest man in the room. You can become the calmest, the clearest, the most grounded, the man who does not need to announce his value because his presence already has weight, but do not confuse this with arrogance. A woman is not impressed by a man who acts superior. She is often impressed by a man who feels solid. There is a difference. Arrogance demands recognition. Presence does not. Arrogance says, look at me. Presence says, I know who I am. That is what she sees. She sees whether you are at war with yourself. She sees whether you are trying to prove you still matter. She sees whether you are comfortable in your body. She sees whether your attention is hungry or disciplined. She sees whether your calm is real or forced. She sees whether your respect is selective or consistent. And sometimes she sees all of this before you say a word. That does not mean every woman will be interested. That does not mean every look has hidden attraction. A mature man does not need to turn life into fantasy. He reads reality. He respects signals. He respects boundaries. He does not chase meaning where there is none, but he also does not ignore the truth that presence matters. Your silent behavior is always introducing you. Before your name, your posture speaks. Before your story, your eyes speak. Before your compliments, your self-respect speaks. Before your confidence claims anything, your calm either proves it or exposes it. So the next time you enter a room, do not ask, "How can I impress her?" Ask a better question. What does my presence communicate before I speak? That question will make you stand differently. It will make you breathe differently. It will make you slow down. It will make you stop begging the room to notice you and start carrying yourself like a man who has already accepted his own worth. And when a man accepts his own worth, something changes. He stops chasing every signal. He stops forcing every conversation. He stops performing for every glance. He becomes easier to respect because he no longer looks like he is negotiating for respect. That is the quiet advantage of a mature man. Not age by itself, not money by itself, not style by itself, but the combination of calm, self-respect, emotional discipline, and presence. Women may notice your face first. They may notice your clothes first. They may notice your eyes first. But what stays with them is the feeling of your energy. Did you feel safe? Did you feel steady? Did you feel controlled? Did you feel respectful? Did you feel like a man who knows himself? That is what separates a forgettable man from a memorable one. A forgettable man tries to be seen. A memorable man is felt before he is heard. So remember this, she sees this. She sees more than the obvious. She sees the way you carry silence, the way you handle attention, the way you respect the room, the way you live inside your own skin. Do not panic under that truth. Use it. Become the kind of man whose quiet signals are clean, a man whose posture says dignity, whose eyes say calm, whose grooming says self-respect, whose silence says control, whose manners say character, whose emotional temperature says peace, whose attention says discipline. That is not performance. That is refinement. And when a woman notices that before you say a word, you will not need to force her attention, you will not need to beg for interest, you will not need to explain your value in a loud voice, because the strongest signal has already been sent. It is not what you say first. It is who you are before you speak. And in the next video, you need to understand why quiet, older men make women feel safe without even trying. Because once you understand the power of calm masculine presence, you will never confuse loud attention with real attraction again.